Good afternoon everyone, my name is Kerry Andreessen and I'm a civil celebrant authorised to conduct today's service. On behalf of Harry's family, thank you for being here today. Before we get started today, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you to put your phones on silent and be present in this moment with each other. Death in a number of ways unites us all. Harry's death for a time demands that each one of us put aside our toil, our cares, our business, our pleasure and our folly to unite ourselves with everyone here. Fellow mourners who share in the common bond of love and respect for Harry. It is fitting that we should reflect on what we owe to those who have gone before us. Our lives are but the latest notes in a music that began with the birth of humanity itself. Harry's children and their family would like to take this time to acknowledge those who have reached out to them in support. During their time of need, it is almost impossible to express how much the hugs, messages, phone calls and deliveries of food and gift baskets have helped. Some guests today have travelled from afar in order to be here. Especially in the modern COVID times, the family acknowledges how difficult this can be and are grateful for those people especially. Harold George Smith, best known as Harry, was born on the 1st of July 1955 here in Adelaide. He was the youngest of 5, the only boy. Harry attended school at St George's College, leaving when he was 16 to start an apprenticeship as a carpenter. He earned his trade certificate a few years later and opened his own business, which he owned and operated until he sold it just a few years ago to enjoy his well-earned retirement. Harry enjoyed 25 years of wonderful marriage with Marion, who passed 5 years ago. They raised 4 incredible children, Tempest, Adrian, Christian and Eric. Harry doubtless loved all of his children equally, but there was no doubt to anyone that knew him that the apple of his eye was his daughter Tempest. His only daughter and a true dad's girl to boot. That was certainly true until his grandsons started rolling in. Zale, Dylan, Kai and Fletcher, who were all loved so wholly by their grandpa. Harry always enjoyed an active lifestyle and in recent years has developed a real passion for fishing diving, which he shared with his family and friends alike. This is evidenced by the many awards he won for angling over the years. Beautifully, it was the sharing of his knowledge with younger generations that brought the biggest smile to Harry's face. It was fitting then that Harry left this world while deep sea diving with his very best friend, Franco. As they say, there's nowhere else he would have rather have been. I'd like to now invite Tempest to come and share her own words. Thank you for sharing, Tempest. Eric, we call on you now. Wonderful words, Eric. Thank you for sharing. Zale and Dylan have written their grandpapa poem and would like to now share that. That was beautiful, Zale and Dylan. Harry's family would now like to extend the invitation to all present here to share your favourite memory, a story, or even just an anecdote about Harry. You can come up here to the microphone if you wish, or you can feel free to stand where you are. I will now call on everyone to observe a few moments silence. Those of you who are believers may care to take this time to pray. Those of you who are not believers may just wish to take this time to reflect on the meaning of Harry's life had for you. To the immediate family, to Harry's children, Tempest, Adrian, Christian and Eric, and 4 grandsons, Zale, Dylan, Kai and Fletcher, we all extend our deepest sympathy and we come to them as mourners. We share their grief. When at other times we grieve over lost opportunities, lost wealth or health, whenever a loss brings sorrow, it is part It is our part to turn the affliction to some wise purpose in our life's experience. We cannot think of Harry's death without resolving to live a fuller life, a fuller and more meaningful life of our own. Because we loved him, because we are here, even now he exerts his influence on all of us. His death causes us to give values to our perspective. While we sincerely grieve today because we are parting with someone we have known and loved, we are also faced with the fact that we do not mourn alone. At this very moment, thousands of others are mourning the loss of their loved ones. Many of these have not died at peace, at the end of full and useful lives as Harry did. Bearing in mind the sorrows that others are experiencing today, we come to realise that we are living in a world larger than our own, and that the best way to face the unavoidable fact of death and parting is to take upon our shoulders the troubles of others, to go on working to what may help to remove the existing causes of injustice and preventable sorrow in this world. We remember today that the grief we feel is just a reflection of the love and admiration we felt for Harry. Tenderly and reverently, we commit the body of our friend Harry to the purifying fire and ultimately to Mother Earth, from which all life comes, and to which all life in the end returns. We are grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that life has meant to each and every one of us. Hereby, may we highly resolve that while we live, we will still strive with all our might to make our living of real worth, and to carry on the work that has been laid down. So in the consciousness of work well done and a life well lived, death in the deepest scene can have no sting. We leave now the ashes of our friend in peace. With respect we bid him farewell. Thinking of him, let us leave this place in quietness of spirit and live with concern and affection for one another. This brings us to the end of today's ceremony. On behalf of Harry's family, I thank each of you for being a part of today's service and invite you to sign the message book and join the family back at the Admiral Hotel for afternoon tea and refreshments. Thank you.